Howdy YouTube, today we're taking a look at the Jakks UFC Series 4 Wanderlei, the Axe Murderer, Silva. One of the all-time greats of the light heavyweight division and MMA in general. One of the coolest finishers from the Pride Fighting Championship. Sadly, he didn't do as well in the UFC, but a really great fighter, great character. He comes in the standard UFC octagon-style packaging, which is a little bit big and bulky for my liking. The later released and the last of the UFC figures, at least they slimmed down the card and made it much sharper and I think a lot better. But yeah, so here it's got obviously UFC 84, his attire, which is pretty cool. I'm not a big fan of figures that have an open mouth generally. A classic example of that is the Brock Lesnar figure where they've got him with the mouth guard and I think it looks terrible. But this guy is the exception. I really, really love the face sculpt on him. Looks pretty cool. Nice shot of the former Pride middleweight champion. Pretty sure it was middleweight. Pride, obviously, known for having a lot of different mixed matches and things like that. If you get a chance, look up on iTunes the best of Pride Fighting Championship. A lot of the fights in that have this guy and end with fantastic punch finishes. So really, really cool. But let's get this guy opened up. Just a quick look at the back of the packaging. Nice shot of Wanderlei Silva on the back there. Other figures in the set, Don Fry. Make sure you check out my review on that. Wanderlei Silva, of course. Rich Franklin. Kimbo Slice, who's actually fighting Ken Shamrock for a Bellator fight, which should be very, very interesting. Sean Shirk, Matt Hughes, and Jamie Varner. A really solid lineup of UFC figures. It's a real shame that the line stopped and didn't do too well. I remember when they came out to Australia, the price point was just way too high, and they were released very, very limited capacity, which was a real shame. I wish they would bring this line back. I wish Jakks would do something because overall they were pretty cool figures. So let's get Wanderlei Silva opened up. Okay, and here we have Wanderlei Silva opened up and out of the packaging. I'll bring it forward so you guys can take a look at the face. I think they absolutely nailed the face scan. Definitely looks like Wanderlei Silva. Just for comparison, I'll bring in Brock Lesnar. That's a terrible, terrible face sculpt. Again, I hate the open mouth. I think it's partly because he's got the black mouth guard, which doesn't do him any favours. But you compare that to the Wanderlei Silva, and it's much, much nicer. Moving down, obviously, he's got all the right and accurate tattoos, which is really cool. If you really tried hard, I'm sure you can actually determine what it says. So I'm never really sure why he got the tats, but anyway, really nice figure. I'll move it down so you guys can see the detail on the trunks. Obviously, it's got all of his sponsors and everything, which is really cool. He's actually opened up a gym in Las Vegas, which is kind of cool. Whether he's there or not is a completely different matter. But in terms of articulation, I actually really like the hair, how they've painted it. They've gone over with a brown and then with a darker brown, brushed it over to give it that shaved look, which is really cool. But in terms of articulation, he's got a ball-jointed head. He's got the UFC arm movement. He's got a ball-jointed shoulder, swivel in the bicep, bend at the elbow, swivel wrist. He's got the ab crunch, swivel waist, which is really loose on this guy, ball jointed legs, swivel in the thigh. He's got double bend at the knee, and then ball joint in the foot. So decent range of articulation on this guy. Ultimately, if you're a UFC fan, you're a fan of Wanderlei Silva, this guy is a really good figure to pick up. You can find him around the $20 to $30 mark on eBay, depending on the seller, which is a really good deal. Great figure, lots of articulation, nice detail, very hard to go wrong. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed this review on the Jakks UFC Series 4 Wanderlei Silva.